Did the Israelis give Jake any assurances of a no Rafah offensive before he gets there this weekend?
I'm not going to speak into private conversations. What I can tell you is those engagements, those conversations about our concerns about a major military operation in Rafah continue. And they've been constructive. You heard directly from Jake about this, and I'm just not going to go into specifics on what the back and forth is. And I also cannot confirm Jake's travel. So that's not something that I can do right now.
Just to kind of go back to the decision to send, $1 billion in arms to Israel, and then, what the president said about his decision to pause sending some arms to Israel. I mean, it just appears inconsistent. We understand that your position is to make sure Israel can defend itself, but how do how should we sort of think about both of these decisions made at the same time? I mean, is he not concerned that those $1 billion in arms is actually going to impact civilians in Rafah?
So look, I don't believe it's inconsistent. We've been very clear. We've been very clear here. Two things can be true, right? Two things can be true. We can have tough conversations with our friends and allies. That is something that you've seen from this president in his diplomacy, right? And we can have constructive conversation. We can also share our concerns. And that's what you have seen. And we can say to our ally that, look, we want to make sure that you're able to defend yourself. We want to make sure that we're going to continue to say that our commitment to you, Israel's security, is ironclad. That is, I just laid out. We saw what Iran did, right? Not too long ago. We know Hezbollah is going after Israel almost on a daily basis. We know that. And so Israel has to be able to defend itself. But when we see a situation in Rafah, with more than 1.4 million citizens who are seeking refuge there because they moved there to seek refuge, we're going to also share our concerns. And the thing to remember is that those conversations are continuing. They are happening. You heard that from Jake on a daily basis. They are happening. And so we're going to monitor the situation. Those two things could be true, right? We can try to make sure that our friends and allies are able to protect themselves against their enemies, defend themselves, and we can also flag and say, hey, this is something that we are concerned about when it comes, in this particular instance, obviously Rafah and a potential operations, a major operation, military operation in Rafah.
But the president's comments